So I was walking past the anime section the other day in Fry's, and I just kind of was browsing. Yeah, pretty much a whole section of N was just Naruto. Just the whole section.
A big block of red.
So the anime section just starts A, N.
It's pretty much
A, G,
B
Z.
and N.
B and N.
Bleach and Naruto. And then like a couple little things thrown in there.
I was a part of the Columbia House where they sent you anime every 2 weeks.
The Columbia House.
Man, it was different anime. I was like, man, this is stupid. And, like, I would not watch it. And like my mom would be like, I paid $22 for these to come to the house. You should watch them. And I really shouldn't have watched them. No one likes to watch Barefoot Gen.
Oh, Jesus, really?
Yeah.
Ohio, I'm Misfit Girl 66 here today to indulge you guys in the world of anime. With my friends here, I've got Marcus, the only Tigger.
What's up?
We got Mike Red over here. You gotta say something Japanese. Come on, it's in your blood.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Moving on. And then we've got JD, S3 Prototype over here.
Oh, wait.
That counts.
Oh,
Wait, that's a pirate.
One Piece. It's from One Piece,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
I quoted
that's the
that.
rationalization here.
All right, so Journal, what was the first anime that you ever watched and kind of jump-started you into anime?
Akira was my first anime that I watched. I was probably 12, 13 years old. And I saw the animation to it. I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. There's no, dogs in capes or, this isn't a Saturday morning cartoon. This is grown-up cartoon. This is what I want to watch. And that was the entryway to that. And then, I got a bootleg copy of Street Fighter the movie. The animated movie, not the alpha movie. And I was like, oh, well, this is the way, the video game and anime genre should blend together. This is the perfect blend of it. And you saw Chun-Li naked. You're 13. This is
better than that.
Great. So yeah,
Those
I was
thunder
like, if I
thighs.
can watch more of this, I am definitely into this genre.
Naked, and then she kicked a guy's ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Through a wall. Yeah. Both
Several.
feet to the face.
Accurate. You're learning about reality at a young age,
And gravity, of course.
These things happen if you jump in on a woman taking a shower.
That's why I never walk in while women take showers.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Even though you
too.
really shouldn't. That's morally wrong. Anyway.
Anyways, yeah, so Mike, what got you started into the world of anime?
When I was 3 or 4, I first saw, honestly, Dragon Ball and Ranma, sort of about the same time, those late 80s ones, early 90s. And man, who didn't see Dragon Ball and was instantly like, yeah, I'm going to take more.
Yeah.
Give me more. I mean, if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have Sailor
Everything.
Moon, Pokemon, everything
Yeah.
else.
Yep.
Bleach and Naruto wouldn't be around at all.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Damn you, Dragon Ball.
Darn. Such a good thing too.
Yeah.
How about you, Marcus?
I guess for me, my entry was Ninja Scroll.
Yeah.
Probably like about 12 or so. Going through movie rental section and, believe it or not, Randall's when they used
Wow.
to rent, when they used to rent movies, and yeah, saw it there. I was like, oh, hey, cartoon. Got a lot more than I bargained for.
I bet, yeah.
But excellent anime, and that really had me starting looking for more. So from there, progressed to Armitage the Third and Akira and everything else, and then just went from there.
So you just like started
Yeah,
adult
I
at the-
started an adult
and then
anime.
just
Why
never
not?
went back.
Never went back.
I started with kitty stuff, Sailor Moon, all the cutesy stuff, and then I went to Dragon Ball Z, all that. And man, Toonami was like my world. Once they came out with Toonami, it was just like bee's knees after that. You could catch everything great in one big block. So after that, I was hooked. But what current anime are you guys watching, Jernell, if you're following one right now?
I've got a few of them that I started and never finished, so I guess I'm still watching them now. High School of the Dead, I've got midway through it.
Boobies!
So that was, I started watching that. I caught this on a whim off of anime music video. Panty stocking and
garter belt. Yeah.
Which is it's so wacky. It's literally like Powerpuff Girls on crack, anime style. It's really really cool.
Good, Angels. You got a coin.
All that for just one?
Yeah, one closer, so quit your bitching.
I started watching that, and then Tenchi.
Can't go wrong with Tenchi.
A friend of mine let me borrow it and traded my girl login. She's never seen it, so we traded that off. He was like, you need to watch this. I'm like, you need to watch this. So I haven't even started that, but I'm starting to watch it.
Nice. Mike, are you watching anything right now?
I mean, if I'm watching one currently, there's one called Sword Art Online. I actually ran into completely on accident because apparently Toonami's back on air.
Oh, wow.
And they're playing one called Sword Art Online, which is about people who sign up for this MMO and then are trapped inside of it. The creator traps them inside of it, and if you die in the game, you die in the real world.
That sounds an
Dot
awful lot like Dot Hack.
Yes, yes, but I think it's a little bit, the production values are a little bit higher than Dot Hack, I think.
Okay.
And there's a little bit more gravity to it, I think. Although
Fair
I
enough.
suppose that depends on which Dot Hack you watch.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I still just pop out my Outlaw Star DVDs whenever I really want to just enjoy a good anime.
Right. Well, Marcus, I know you keep up with stuff more than probably most of us here.
Yeah, right now, watching Attack on Titan.
Nice.
So I'm kind of keeping up with what's current. Also, I still keep up with Shippuden, Naruto. And now that they finally got it into the meat of the content that the manga has done for like the past half year. So keeping up with that, and I'm still going through because it finally just got released here in the States. One of my favorites was Shakugan no Shana. That one was one that I actually started going through the box sets that they finally released out on Blu-ray because season 2 and 3 never made it to the States on DVD, and now we finally got them. So I was like, okay, I'll pick those up.
Why not?
But those are mine.
I'd have to definitely go with Digimon. They finally released Digimon on Netflix.
Are you rewatching it?
I am rewatching it. I loved Digimon. Yeah, I got a fan over here. I totally loved Digimon over Pokemon. TV show wise, oh man.
I like that three of us listed current animes we're watching, and they're from like the mid 1990s.
I can see you like opening up Netflix in your onesie with a bowl of cereal and just
Digimon,
Digivolve,
monsters.
Patamon, go!
Yep, that's my life.
You know, actually, there is one I just remembered that I've been getting into called Bakemonogatari, which I think is actually a couple years old, and I'm kind of late to the game. It's really, really bizarre. I'll say that. It's really bizarre, but
Trippy
it's really...
or...
it's a Shaft anime, which basically equals yes, no,
Yes,
not that.
no?
Kind of. There's a lot of weird fan service at random moments, but
Okay.
it's not called Shaft because of that. Think more like a central shaft that powers a machine.
Jernell's not helping my case at all.
I'm listening to what you're saying.
and I'm done saying it because Bakemonogatari. This is a good one.
I was about to say too that I started watching the Persona series too.
Ooh, okay.
I started watching I'm up to like episode 6 or 7, and then they just announced that they're doing a Persona 3 series altogether. And the movie.
Movies.
Yeah.
They're separated into movies.
So I'm excited about that.
Based off the games?
Yes. and it's actually true to the storyline of the game.
Which they're doing a lot of those now because they just finished. What was it? They finished Persona 4 and then they just did Devil Survivor 2. And I watched all through that. That one was kind of painful though.
Okay, I won't even bother with that.
But Persona 4 definitely finished.
Well, speaking of movies, as far as live action transitions for anime, what would be your best and worst live action that you've seen from an anime?
Worst? Gantz. God, I couldn't sit through that.
Yeah, that is pretty terrible.
Like I was
funny.
Yeah, I couldn't even get through half of it. Like when they first got into the room, I'm like, this is still terrible. Like sitting through it, I was bored. I found myself not paying attention, and then like I was like, oh wait, I remember this part. Let me rewind it. Oh, that totally didn't happen like that. Crap. I think that was the worst adaptation. I mean, great for the cosplay and everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They had the whole angle of it down, but I think the production of the story was just horrible, and the way it was actually paced. The best anime, I mean, I believe this is a manga that got turned into a live action movie. It's called A Man Named Hero, which is, I thought that was really, really cool. That's what got me into string action kung fu movies and high graphic stuff and all. So I mean, that was really cool. It had to deal with different gods fighting among each other on Earth to enslave man. So
That actually sounds pretty cool. I'll have to check that out.
I have it on DVD.
I will have to borrow it then. What about you, Mike?
I can't think of a single good one.
Okay, then worst for sure.
Worst, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah. I think that wins.
Do I need to like say
here.
anything about that? I mean,
I don't.
Bulma was hot. Come on.
yeah, fine. Hot outside of that movie because she was so ridiculous looking, it was hard to care.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, and then just everything else that was so god awful about that film.
It had potential. The idea of making it a live action movie for any of the Dragon Ball stories. I mean,
Well,
you
yeah,
easily
but
do
that
any of the
doesn't-
battles. However, it just turned out ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, the second you say, you know, what would make Dragon Ball really great is if we put it in high school.
Right.
Yeah, and let's introduce cars and girls and locker room fights and.
Well, wait, there was a filler episode of DBZ where Goku got his driver's license.
Don't try and defend it.
Don't try and
There's
defend
no
it.
saving this.
I'm not defending the movie. I'm just like, wait a minute.
And they had the guy from Buffy play Piccolo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was awful. And then, I don't even really want to get into Justin Chatwin playing Goku. The guy from War of the Worlds, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It should have stopped there. So apparently if you go over the battle, because I want to fight too, Dad, you come back and you're saying. No.
Makes sense.
The one scene out of that movie bothered me the most. Well, the whole movie bothered me all in total. But when Piccolo was stuck inside the house, the burning house, and like he had the most trouble trying to get out of it. And I was like, wait, Piccolo's the badass. He just rips off his ear and he makes the house explode. That's the way it should have happened.
He rips off his ear.
No, because like that was the power of Piccolo. Like he self-inflicted pain made him stronger. Like he pulled off his limbs and he would get stronger that way. At least in the earlier episodes of what I translated.
Well, I think that was more if he had to. If it was wounded, he could rip it off and regenerate it. But actually, he would lose power.
Really? All right. Well, then I was asleep during that episode.
I started younger than most. But yeah, any movie where someone says cheese and rice in a completely serious way, because something bad just happened. Oh, cheese and rice. No.
That really inflicts anger on my people.
For sure.
Amongst my people, this is frowned upon.
My culture, cheese and rice. Whoo! Calm down there, son.
Dragon Ball Evolution.
What about you, Marcus? Your faves?
I'm gonna
worse?
do probably like two contrasting ones of the same genre.
Okay.
As far as the worst, I'd probably have to say Speed Racer.
Oh yeah,
oh God,
that
I forgot
was.
about that.
So, I mean, as far as production, it had the production, so there's no reason it should have been as
It
bad
could
as
have
it
been
was.
good. Yeah, it just
But
did not do well.
it was just really horrible, and of course the acting was bad.
Isn't that the problem though? Sometimes when they try to make these live action adaptations, you're taking something that's completely goofy and weird, and then trying to turn it into a serious thing.
Yeah, definitely.
It just can't be done sometimes.
Nope. I really felt that there was no reason to make that one live action.
Yeah.
No.
And especially like with going all out on the racetracks, which and those, you know, could have been done a little bit less, I guess, aneurysm inducing.
Hot Wheels commercial.
Yeah, right?
I'd be more disappointed if they didn't do that. I'd be like, this was just a mundane race. I would rather watch Driven than watch that movie.
Right. And then probably on the opposite end of the spectrum as far as favorite live action, I'd probably have to say Initial D.
Okay, I could definitely support that.
As far as like true to the anime, it really was. They had the cars in there from, you know, that it followed, and the acting, you know, was subpar, but at the same time it stayed true to the actual tone of the anime.
Right.
And I really appreciated that movie for that. I'll still pop it in every once in a while and watch it.
Right. For me, as far as animes, I'm kind of in the same boat of I haven't really found a favorite. And I would have to agree with Mike on Dragon Ball definitely being probably the worst. But one that I thought of, it's not really an anime, it was more of a video game one, was Dead or Alive.
Oh.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
Wasn't what was her name? Jamie Presley in that?
Yeah, but
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's not anime, but I just had to throw that in there because
one was
I thought it
awful.
was noteworthy of its
the second
terribleness.
movie was bad too.
Yeah.
They made a second one?
They had an animated movie, an anime movie, and then they made a live action movie.
And the
Okay, I
live
thought you meant
action
like a
was just-
sequel to the live action one.
No, God no.
Yeah. Now, well, okay, so if you could have any of your favorite animes be turned into a live action, what would you pick?
Trigun. Trigun has never been as a live action series. I think the goofiness would feed people into it. And then, I know the story takes a serious 180 all over you. So it would really capture an actual solid storyline.
Right.
It's cartoony enough to bring people in, but I really think of the icon of that character. You could go into any anime shop and point out Trigun right out of the corner of your eye. I think that would be a really good, Hollywood movie. And and keep it in the Japanese, stages. Don't make it an American movie, because I don't think
They always mess it up.
Yeah. Dragon Ball again.
Yeah.
I want to give you three things. Maybe not necessarily ones that should be done, but really could be done. First of all, Outlaw Star. Which
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
which could be done and should be done. Cowboy Bebop could be done very easily.
It could
I
be.
just don't think you need to. And the reason I bring that up is because they're constantly trying to make it.
Yeah, we don't need Keanu. No.
We'll get our fill of him in 47 Ronin.
whoa, I got a gun. Whoa.
Hang on, Jet. I gotta pick up this bounty. I'll be back later, maybe.
Whatever Keanu Reeves has, he's always wearing a suit and tie.
Yeah.
Which would work
They
for
probably-
the character.
They cast him They tried to cast him probably just based off the Constantine poster, because he's got the suit and the loose-fitting tie, and he looks like he doesn't give a shit. But then he acts. And
But then you
I don't
hear
give
him
a shit.
talk, and you just want to say stop.
Yeah, and then you don't give a shit.
Your face melts.
Yeah,
Kira
just
style.
little-
just-
A little bit. God, now I can't even remember the third one because I'm
too
totally-
focused on Keanu.
I'm too focused on Keanu, and that's a bad place to be. It was a bad place
Well, how
to
about
be.
you then, Marcus?
I guess for me, one of the ones that I really want to see turned into live action, just because I know it can be done, because even though it's anime, it's not really all that outlandish as far as what they do. I would probably say Blade of the Immortal.
Nice. That'd be cool.
It's typical samurai story of revenge. It's it's really easy to do, but the story that goes along with it, I think it would be really easy for them to do.
Yeah, it could read like a Kurosawa film, really.
Yeah. So that's definitely one that I would really want to see done.
I would agree with that, yeah.
Probably seconding off of that, a little bit more outlandish maybe. I'd like to see Armitage III done in live action. Just because I know that with movies out there like, Surrogates, even though it's not critically acclaimed, but, they show, the cybernetic stuff behind it. And with CG being that much better, I know it can be done.
It's possible, for sure.
And even though that the anime is not all that, serious to begin with, and it's pretty much like all action and adult content, it would fit the genre for that type of setting.
I know for me, Ghost in the Shell, I've always wanted a live action of it. And I feel like it's one of the few animes that would work, even if an American company went through and did it.
Which version of it would you do?
I would do
the movie one or the
standalone
TV series?
complex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, because even though most of the episodes are standalone, each story, it's got the politics in it and everything, but it's got enough action to where they could easily just make another side story, because they've done that with the movies, where it doesn't necessarily have to fit into the world. It just can take place somewhere, and it would be just fine. And as long as they get a strong female role, and a lot of action and cool CG and big guns, I mean, I think it would be easy. It would be hard to mess that up, but obviously we've seen some pretty terrible stuff, so I would almost like it to be untouched at the same time.
Yeah, because Michael Bay will be the one who gets his hands on it.
Oh God, that lens flare.
Yeah, can't have Michael Bay messing up nothing, man.
Major Megan Fox, Ghost in the Shell.
Oh God. Well, she'd be
That'd be
hot,
horrible.
but that's about it. He's worse with the lens flare.
Yeah, but he's a better
He's
filmmaker.
Like and shakes cam.
You okay?
Wait there for assistance.
It's not Megan Fox.
It's not. But that being said, Ghost in the Shell is by far, hands down, my favorite anime ever. I have a tattoo to prove it. And
It's a life man, right?
No.
Voice slot, right?
Ching. I just really enjoyed the fact that it's adult in the sense that it's got the politics, the action. It's even got a little side story of romance in there, and it kind of all comes together in the end. I felt like the animation was beautiful, and it really pieced it all together. The soundtrack was killer. It's one of the few soundtracks that I will always keep on my iPod, and just felt like it was a total package. I can't remember what you said your favorite anime was, or if you have a couple.
I have 3 of them. This is
Okay.
in my 3 stages of life watching anime. So, Gurren Lagann's the last one that I love. Yeah.
Woo, Yoko!
Kamina, man. The man sheds a tear. He's not even the full series. He's the man out of the whole series.
Stretches the sword in its sheath.
Yeah.
逃げるだと？なめんなよ。俺を誰だと思ってる？泣く子も黙るグレンダンの神様だ。敵に後ろは見せねえぜ。
This is big. My teenage years was Golden Boy. Golden Boy was he's a college student his life is a freighter. He specializes in part-time jobs, and it's a 6-story episode that they all interconnect with each other. They don't interconnect, but they all connect somehow, some way. And he's an F up in life, and he's trying to do these part-time jobs, and the main protagonist girl just doesn't like him, hates him, betrays him, and then at the end of the episode, they flip back and fall in love with him.
どうすか俺の泳ぎ。
君さ、水泳を教えるより習った方がいいよ。
これ、スクールの入校案内。
That screwed up my whole teenage years. So that was my favorite anime, and then all time was Street Fighter the movie. That's what started it all together. I could watch that playing in the background in Japanese subtitles, and English subtitles, and still understand what's going on in the movie. So those are my ideal 3 anime movies. I could have them on the shelf and be content.
Fair enough. I think we have a Cowboy Bebop fan over here.
Well, I have to qualify that though.
Okay.
Because almost based entirely on nostalgia, I will always say Dragon Ball is my favorite.
Okay.
But that notwithstanding, Cowboy Bebop, I think, is hands down the greatest anime ever made. I mean, from the voice acting, English or Japanese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both were phenomenal.
Yeah, both are phenomenal. The soundtrack,
yeah.
same composer as Ghost in the Shell, is absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, you could listen to that soundtrack on its, based solely on its merits as a jazz album.
Right.
And it's incredible. And then just the story. I mean, you've got your standalone episodes that are great, but then when you get that sort of overarching plotline that pokes its head in a few times, it's wonderful film noir style stuff. So I also just have to give an honorable mention to Lupin, because what's more classic? What is more classic than Lupin?
Yeah.
I mean, I could watch that any day of the week.
I watched my first Lupin movie just a couple of weeks ago.
Really? Which one?
The one where they're in Tokyo, and
okay. That's a good one.
Yeah. I remember watching it, I was like, man, this is really ahead of its time. Like, it's hokey 70s style stuff, but just watching that car chase scene where they all interlock with each other.
Yeah.
I was like, this is kind of bad. This is kind of awesome. And he's balancing on the rail.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Guess favorite of all time? I have a couple I could probably qualify in there. Like I mentioned with wanting, Blade of the Immortal turned into a movie, I'd probably have to go with, in that same type of vein, Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai.
Okay.
That's probably one of my favorites, especially, you bring up like the political stuff with Ghost in the Shell, and that has its own fair share, if not thrown into, feudal Japan meets kind of like mechs.
Yeah, it had that weird, wonderful steampunk aspect to it.
And I really liked that anime. One of the few that once they did finally release the box set, I had to own and put it on the shelf.
Oh yeah.
Also, nice throwback, Golgo 13.
Nice.
I remember that one, yeah.
As Jay knows from my video game history, sniping.
And that one scene where it's like his target is inside the tower.
Yeah.
And he shoots like a full round into one
bullet
glass.
hole.
Yeah, and it's all on. It's keep beating that glass until that one bullet goes through, and it goes through the dude's head.
Yep. Or the ricochet shot from in the house that couldn't be breached.
Oh,
he
yeah.
ricocheted it like down into angle, and it went up and hit the dude in the head. All with probably one of my favorite guns, M16 modified rifle into a sniping rifle. So those would probably be my favorites if I had to choose. But there's just so many that that I just watch and enjoy.
Oh yeah, for sure. With all the ones we've talked about, you guys have a pretty good collection going now of stuff to check out. So thanks for having fun with us, and don't forget to check us out on Facebook and like our page, as well as follow us on Twitter at Ultness. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to check out more awesome sauce like this. Thanks.
You guys seen Sword of the Stranger?
Yes, I have that. I bought that twice. I bought it on DVD, and then when they finally released it on Blu-ray a couple months later, I picked it up again and got rid of my DVD copy.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to see that on the big screen entirely on accident. I guess AMC every once in a while does these events.
Used to be Cinemark, they did it a lot too.
Used to be Alamo too.
Alamo still does it actually.
Really?
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
First hentai, Jay.
Damn.
Out of time.
Right under the bus there.
Oh man, look at the time.
Blue girl. Just take off the mic.
Damn it! No.
So tell us.
It was the blue girl.
What was that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I got
The blue girl?
I got tricked into watching the blue girl because it was my entry to anime, and I didn't know they had hentai. And I was like, oh, okay, this is really cool. And then like the big dick tentacle monster came out and like
As they often
swallowed her into the top of the penis head. I'm like, wait, and then her pubic hair turned into needles. I'm like, this is weird. I got a weird boner over this.
Fear boner.
Just fear boner everywhere. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be watching this.